The United States military is built on 5 powerful branches, each with a unique mission to defend the nation and protect its interests worldwide. The Army dominates on land, the Navy secures the seas, the Air Force commands the skies, the Marine Corps delivers rapid response, and the Space Force protects operations beyond our atmosphere. In this video, we'll explore how the U.S. military is structured, how each branch operates, and how they work together to form one of the most formidable defense systems in the world. Let's dive in. The U.S. Army operates under a clear, hierarchical structure. Team, the smallest unit, typically 4 to 5 soldiers, led by a team leader, often a sergeant. Teams operate as the basic building block of larger units. Squad composed of 2 or more teams, with 6 to 10 soldiers total, commanded by a staff sergeant. Squads are the primary combat unit in small-scale operations. Platoon made up of 2 to 3 squads, totaling in average 30 soldiers, led by a lieutenant. Platoons are versatile and can handle diverse tactical missions. Company includes 3 to 5 platoons, with 100 to 200 soldiers, commanded by a captain. Companies are the smallest unit, with administrative and logistical support. Battalion comprises 4 to 6 companies, about 300 to 1,000 soldiers, and is commanded by a lieutenant colonel. Battalions are capable of independent operations and are often the primary fighting force in combat. Brigade, made up of 2 to 3 battalions, with 3,000 to 5,000 soldiers. Commanded by a colonel, brigades are the Army's key operational unit for sustained missions. Division includes 3 to 4 brigades with 10,000 to 15,000 soldiers, led by a major general. Divisions are responsible for large-scale operations and are the cornerstone of Army combat power. Corps, composed of 2 to 5 divisions, totaling 30,000 to 45,000 soldiers, and commanded by a lieutenant general. Corps coordinate large-scale operations involving multiple divisions. Field Army includes 2 to 5 corps, with up to 90,000 soldiers or more. Commanded by a general, a field army handles major regional campaigns and strategic operations. Army Group, the largest operational unit, consisting of multiple field armies. Commanded by a general or field marshal, it oversees massive multinational campaigns in global conflicts. Army Region, geographic areas of responsibility, often overseeing multiple army groups or field armies. They focus on regional planning, logistics, and coordination. The Navy structure is not as straightforward as the other military services. It's pretty complex. There are 2 chains of command: operational and administrative. Administrative. This side takes care of personnel, education, training, repairs, and supply chains. It's responsible for readiness. Operational. This is the side of the Navy that carries out specific missions such as operations and exercises. Let's break it down. Operational include 11 combatant commands, each with a geographic or functional mission that provides command and control of military forces in peace and war. And there are 9 Navy component commands, and their commanders carry out operations within the designated area of responsibility. Component commanders have operational control over 1 or more of the numbered fleets. There are 7 active numbered fleets in the Navy. Some numbered fleets, which were established during World War II, have since been deactivated or folded into other fleets. Fleets are mostly too large for carrying out a specific operation, while individual ships, submarines, etc., are mostly too small for the task. So, to carry out an order, fleets are then divided into task forces, task groups, task units, and task elements. Now the Marine Corps. The U.S. Marine Corps falls under the Department of the Navy. However, its command structure is similar to the Army's, except it follows the Rule of 3 and includes Marine Expeditionary Forces and aircraft wings. The Air Force structure is a bit of a mix of the Army and Marine Corps structures. The elements of command might change based on the type of unit, but the basic elements remain constant. Section. formed of 2 or more airmen. This is also referred to as an element in basic training. Flight. Broken into 3 types, flights can be numbered, alpha or functional. A flight comprises individual airmen or sections. Squadron. Commanded by field grade officer, major, or lieutenant colonel. Squadrons consist of 2 or more flights. They are the lowest level of command with a headquarters element, usually identified by number and function. The 1st Reconnaissance Squadron is an example. Group commanded by colonel, wing commanded by colonel or brigadier general. Numbered Air Force. Wings, squadrons, and groups can all be assigned to a numbered air force, which usually has a geographical assignment. Major Command. Major commands, or MAJCOMs, can be organized 2 ways: by mission, such as Global Strike Command or Mobility Command, or by region outside the continental United States, such as Pacific Air Forces. Major commands report directly to Air Force headquarters. Finally, the Space Force structure is unique. While it is a separate and distinct branch of the armed services, it is organized under the Department of the Air Force. Its mission is to secure our nation's interests in, from, and to space. Section formed of 2 or more guardians. This is also referred to as an element in basic training. Flight comprises individual guardians or sections. Squadron. 2 or more flights form a squadron. Squadrons are the lowest level of command, usually identified by number and function. The 1st Test and Evaluation Squadron, or 1st TES, is an example. Delta 2 or more squadrons form a delta. There are 3 types of deltas: Mission Delta, Space-Based Delta, and Space Launch Delta. Each Mission Delta is responsible for an entire mission set for the service. An example of a Mission Delta is Delta 9, which is responsible for orbital warfare. Each space-based delta is responsible for base support on Space Force bases. Each space launch delta is responsible for both base support and the launch mission for its Space Force base. Field Command are responsible for organizing, training, and equipping thousands of Guardians around the world. A Field Command is organized by mission, such as Space Training and Readiness Command, and reports directly to headquarters at the Pentagon. Service Component Field Command. Service Component Field Commands integrate Space Force capabilities with other service branches and combatant commands, serving as the bridge between the Space Force and the broader joint military structure. They are organized under the combatant command they support,